as well. Okay, as far as this particular module is concerned, obviously it definitely comes in your P2. It is not a tough module, but just like MS Word, we tend to ignore some of the very basic points. So obviously we have to practice it. Okay, easy module doesn't mean that we can relax and we cannot just leave them till the end. So let's start blank presentation. One of the most important point that we should learn in PowerPoint is the concept of the Slidemaster. Let me just close this one. Well, obviously you do know I don't need design ideas. So if you look over here, I have different layouts. I have the title and the content, the section header, to content, comparison. I mean, these are basically 9 of the different layouts that are available by default in PowerPoint. Okay, so obviously you can choose any one of them within your presentation, right? Now, whenever the question starts, they will ask you to actually either work with the Slidemaster. Now, what is the Slidemaster? Slidemaster is just like implementing your own corporate house style within presentation. Now, what do I mean by that? What actually I mean by that is that you want your presentation to actually have some logo at the top. Your heading should be of green color. Your subheading should be of red color. There should be something there in the footer. I mean, your websites, your posters, your letterheads, your memos, your presentations, all of them should uniquely represent your business, your corporate identity. Okay, maybe I did discuss this before. If you talk about Emirates, if you talk about Pepsi, Coca-Cola, they have their own corporate identity. So whenever you look at a billboard, which is representing Emirates, you will see they will always use red and with different font type and so on and so. So as soon as someone looks at the billboard or the poster or the brochure or whatever, they will know that it is coming from which particular organization. So this concept is known as a corporate house style. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this and why I'm linking with this is because this is what we are going to do over here. That's the concept of Slidemaster. So if you come into view, I'm recording this lecture and I'll share this lecture with you once again, okay? So if you come into view and you've come into Slidemaster, okay, just click on Slidemaster. Remember one thing, that initially, when I did tell you that there were different layouts, you will see something over here. Look over here at the title slide layout. I have the title and the content layout. I have the section header layout. I have the to content layout. I have the comparison, the same layouts. Now, this is very interesting. Let's say if I want to, let's say that's my particular logo that I will have over here. Okay, in this particular layout. Okay, that's my logo. And if I close the Slidemaster, you will see this logo is appearing over here. So if I add, let's say, a new slide, the title slide, and if I keep on adding them, I could get the logo over there. But I can't edit this because this has been added at the back end of the slide. Well, let's talk about something more. If I go into view and if I go to Slidemaster and let me do something, I want to add something in the title and the content. So if I go to title and content, and let's say over here, I would like to add that's my logo and it's appearing over here, just for the sake of argument, right? Close. Not appearing because I did not add that slide. So let me add the title and the content. The title and the content. So you get the point, which means if I want to go at the back end of this particular layout, how I do it, I will simply use the Slidemaster and I can go to the back. So this means if I edit this one, the third one, which is the section header, obviously if I add the section header and in the main, I'll have the reflection over there, so on and so. The story keeps on going on. So this means whatever changes I make over here will be implemented over there as well. Okay. Is this particular point clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, but there is another question that will arise, apart from the fact, what if you are working on a presentation, and this presentation that you're working on, you will have different layouts. Okay. Okay. Can you mute your mic? Anyone? Do you hear some interruption? Yeah, good, good. It's better now. It's better now. What I was saying was, what if I want is different? For example, like over here, I have is the a different layout, and then I want is a different layout. I have 3, 4 different layouts. Okay, what would you do then? And I want one thing unique in all these layouts. Well, what will we do in that case? You simply go to Slidemaster, and you might have noticed something. I have discussed with you these, but I did not discuss the very first one. And you see, it is labeled as 1. Well, what is this one? Over here, what I can do is, if I add, let's say, any logo over here, the interesting thing will be, it appears in all the layouts. Okay, fine. So you see it is appearing in all the layouts. But then another question will arise, if I add something in this main, in the parent, in the public layout, if it can be declared in all the layouts, then why should I not use this? No, you can't always use this, because you will not have all the information in all the layouts. Maybe you want different information, different layouts, and maybe you want one particular information in all the layouts. For example, you would want the company name to appear at the top in all the layouts, so you can add it over here. You would want the copyrights to appear at the very bottom, you can add it in the main layout. You would like the date to appear in all the layouts at the very bottom left corner, you can add it in the main layout. So it depends on what do you want to appear in all the layouts and what do you want to appear in individual layouts. So you first of all, you have to read the entire question. I've told you before, it goes for all the modules. You have to read the entire question first, then start your work. Don't start step by step, because once you will read ahead, you will get an idea that what you have to do. Your IC practical has to go with planning. You have to plan it out. The more planning you do, as soon as you start your work, you will be able to finish it soon. Okay. So this is the way basically it works. So you're not running a race over here. There's no point of finishing it one hour before and you having mistakes over there. Anyway, let's proceed further. Now, what else do we have over here? Let's say if I talk about this particular layout, this one, we'll talk about this one. Okay, the title and the content. Okay, in the title and the content, what I'll do is, let's say I want the heading to appear over here, and I would like the heading to be, oh, sorry, some people are waiting. I didn't admit. So I would like this to basically be bold. I would like this to be, let's say, of this color. Okay, and probably a different font. Fine. Okay. These are basically my bullet points. Okay. So if I go back, I'll come to bullet points again. If I go back, you can see that if I add this one, you can see over here is the same font has been implemented. So my heading will always be used as that, because what I did was I changed it over here at the back end. So the font type that I changed obviously would be implemented in all the slides. Then if I temper this bullet points, this will also be reflected. For example, I can change this to bold, and I can make this color. The second level, I can make it this color and probably a different font. I will do it for all, because I just want to show you something which is very interesting. And so on and so. I'll just keep on doing this. Here you go. Then I'll have is, here you go. And the last one, here you go. And let's choose a different color. Right. Now, please have a look at this. This thing is really important. If I go back, if I close the Slidemaster, and let me add the title and the content, another one, and let me add some bullet points randomly. Now you can see is, what were those? Well, those were indented bullet points. Okay. So how do I do that? If I indent this once, if I indent this twice, if I indent this thrice, if I indent this 4 times, So this is just like you have electronics, in electronics you have computers, in computers you have input devices, so on and so. So if you have sub bullet points again and again, you can implement this way, but usually we don't want them. We might be using just one of this. So that's how you can implement bullet points through the Slidemaster. Did you get this point, all of you? Did you get this point?
Yes.
Very good. Anyone has a question till now, please? I'll pause for a while and tell me. Anyone has any question? I can answer it right now. Okay, good. You can even ask me afterwards in the class as well, but let's just cover it today. So in my Slidemaster, I have added is my heading. I've added my bullet points. Let's say what I want to do is I want to add is a subheading in between. How do I add a subheading? Well, before I start discussing the subheading with you, I need to discuss with you is that within the Slidemaster, there's something known as a placeholder. So within the placeholder, you will see basically is this text thing. Now, what's a placeholder? I'll tell you. If I enter text over here, okay, let's say click to, I'll write the same thing, click to edit. I have used a text box, remember. I go back and I close this. I have this over here, very good. But you see, I can't edit this. But if I click on this, I can add something to it. I can click and I can change this, but I can't do anything with this. This means that if I'm in my Slidemaster, and if I add something using a text box, insert using a text box, that will remain static. We cannot change it. So what we're doing is at the back end, we're just creating a template of our slides. Okay. The template for the heading, the template design for the subheading, the template design for the bullet points. And if you want to add your company name or something else, that should remain of the same. This text box can be used to add the copyrights, the company name, or whatever. Okay. Probably I could use this to add over here is 20, because no one will be able to edit this, and we don't have to edit this. That's not the point. So what a placeholder? If I want to add a placeholder over here as for a subtitle, how would I do that? Well, I will come into insert placeholders and look at this text. Let me add this. Now you initially have this in the form of bullets, but I don't need this bullet. So I'll delete them. I'll simply delete them. I still have a bullet. I have a single bullet list. I can simply turn off the bullet. Now, what is this technically? Technically, this is just a text. It's simply a text. Now, your subheading is supposed to be, let's say, 32 point. The examiner says your subheading should be 32. It should be bold. It should be italic. And it should be, let's say, Arial black. Perfect. So in my Slidemaster, I have a slide, and the examiner says you're supposed to have a heading, which is supposed to have the following properties. You're supposed to have a subheading, which should have the following properties, the following design, and you're supposed to have bullet points, which should have the following. The different levels that I just discussed with you, that this never came in the exam. I've just discussed it with you in case you should know what levels are. Actually, we don't need it. We just need one of the bullet point. We just need this one. But if you want to work with levels, you should know it, and I've discussed this with you. So what happens? I go back, and let's say if I add another one. This was what I have. Now, if I keep on adding this, no problem. All I have to do is I type my text, and don't you think so? What I'm doing is I'm following a corporate house style. I just have to design my presentation once, that when anyone types in their heading, the subheading, and the bullet points, they will always have a unique format. Okay, a unique format, and it will be similar in all the slides. So I will be following a corporate house style. Did you get my point?
Would it also be applied to the slides we have already added?
Very good question. Excellent. No. When you when you make changes in your placeholders, the reflection does not go back. So this is why what we do is we initially make the slide master and then we start adding the content. That's a very valid question. So the answer is no. Okay, because obviously this is what happened. That your designer within an organization will first design your slides. Once your slides have been designed, then the content will be added. We don't add the content and then we design it. No, that's not the way. This could work in web authoring where you can make a CSS file even afterwards. But even in CSS, remember, we make the CSS file first, and we should. But the rule is not strict over there. You get my point?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, very good question. Okay, so here we go. A recap. So where we did go to the slide master and we decided that which particular layout we have to work with, the title or the title of the content or the section header. So we decided that we will be working with the title and the content. Okay, this could be your choice. Okay, examiner will probably not tell you. Okay, just choose any of the layout and you make changes to the layout as per the question paper. Okay, and if there are different layouts being used, sure, you can edit this one as per the requirement, you can edit this one as per the requirement, you can edit this as per the requirements. And if you want some content to appear in all the layouts, you will come at the very beginning, the very first one, and whatever you want to appear in all these layouts, you will add that content in the very first one. Okay, so if I add over here is, let's say, electronics, whatever I could add. Okay, I could add the date is there, and that's my numbering. Look at this. The numbering basically appears at the very bottom. This is my number. Okay, I could even increase the size of the number. The hashtag basically is my slide number. Oh, I did not. Let me increase the size of this. It's wrong. Let's make it fine. Oh, but you would see something is, now look at this. If I go back, I don't see any numbering over here. I don't see any numbering at the bottom. Why is that? So I'll tell you why. You come into insert and you go into slide number. Insert, slide number. I want the date to appear. I want the slide number to appear. And I would like something to appear in my footer. And apply to all. You would see is that my numbering is appearing. Okay, right? My numbering is appearing. And my footer is appearing. And my date is also appearing, because I added these features in my very first one, right? So this entire story that we just talked about was the concept of the slide master, and it tends to be one of the most important thing in your PowerPoint. The rest of things, yes, I will discuss right now. We will finish this module today, inshallah. If you still have questions, we will discuss them on Thursday. Okay, and I would like you to attempt one of the paper. I'll tell you today. A very easy paper. Just try to attempt it. Can't do it. I'm pretty sure most of you will be able to do it. Okay. I'll share the video solution in case. So till now we have discussed this. Let's talk about more. For example, what you're supposed to do is, I've had 2 minutes. Let me just read that. 2 minutes. Let me just add this slide. And let's say I add some bullet points. 1, 2, and I would like these bullet points to appear one after the other. So for this, just like this bullet point, and you say fly in, select one, and fly in, and select and fly in. So what you see over here is 1, 2, and 3. This means one after the other. So each is appearing individually, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay. So if you click on the animation pane, you would see is that these stars are appearing with these. So if you take a screenshot of this star basically, for every animation type, the star will differ. Okay, the star will differ. So you can take a screenshot of that. Let me go back. No, not do that. You'll take a screenshot of this entire thing and give it to the examiner, and the examiner will know that you applied one after the other. Because if I would have selected all of this and say fly in, it says 1, 1, 1, which means all of them are appearing one at a time, not one after the other. Is this point clear? So that's how you add animation to your bullet points or to any text. Okay. one after the other or all at once. And that's how you give a proof to the examiner as well, by taking a screenshot. And I've told you so many times that we will be using the snipping tool. Okay, so click on the snipping tool and you can select this. You could copy this and paste it in your evidence document, or you could probably save all the JPEGs in one place and then do it. I would just copy and start pasting in your evidence document. That's a much better way. Any question till now? Should I proceed further? Any question? Anyone?
No, sir.
Yeah, the reason why I keep on asking is because at times, it has happened with me in some of the classes. I am talking and what happens is the connection got disconnected and I was just talking to myself. So at times you don't know that you are actually talking to yourself. Anyway, so this is how you basically add animation over here. And then we have transition. Transition is something else. Transition means that when you go from one slide to the other slide, you would like a transition to appear. So let's say this is the transition. Don't I have a better transition? Yeah, maybe this one. Actually, there's no color at the back. Just 1 second. Let me just add a color at the back. We would know it.
Animations and transitions are different, right?
Absolutely. And what is the difference between both of them? Animations are on objects. Transitions is between slides. Like I'm just going to demonstrate you right now. For example, here you go. You see, when I go from one slide to this slide, that's a transition. But how do we show that we have a transition? How do we show to the examiner? You see, once I add this transition, do you see this star appearing over here? This basically star is your transition. Okay, but what is the better way of showing transition? I'll tell you. Okay, you see over here, if you follow my cursor, you will see over here I have a slide sorter view. If I click on this, I get this view. So this view, you will take a screenshot of this where you can see the stars easily, these stars. These stars represent your transition. So the examiner will be able to see it, although there's no harm in even providing this way, but obviously this is a better way. An examiner would appreciate you if you show the slide transitions screenshot. Because since we do not provide the soft copy to the examiner would like to have a proof that you have actually applied a transition between the slides. So that's how we do that. Okay, so we've discussed about the animation between, and we've talked about the transition as well. Right. Next topic. Next topic is we would like to add notes. Let me just add a few more slides. Let me add more and more. Anyway, so what are your notes? You see at the very bottom, I have these notes and I could just type some random text. Some random text here would be whatever, right? So I could even come here and I could add again notes and I could add some random text here as well, some random text here. What am I doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. If I come into file and if I come into print, you could print the slides, full page slides. You could do is you could print the notes pages. That's what I wanted. The notes pages. I have the slide and I have are the notes. Now, why do you think so I need them? Right now, I just wrote just few words. What if let's say you're giving a presentation and you have a very much elaborated presentation and you probably are using a lot of technical words over there. You're probably using a lot of detailed knowledge that the audience are not aware of. You would like to add some notes over here for your reference while you're giving the presentation. You would not like to share some information with your audience. That information will go in your notes pages. So you type all that in the notes and you take a printout of this and you keep this to yourself. You don't give this to the audience. So you will have all this information over here. You get the point? You have all this information over here.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but can you please repeat it again?
I will repeat again. what I'm saying is, did you see while I was adding the notes pages? Did you see that while I was adding notes? I clicked here, notes, and I added the notes. Okay. The point is, I was just telling that why am I adding those notes? The reason why I'm adding these notes is because if I go to print, I could either print the slides. I could either print the slide with the notes. So if I want to print the slides with the notes, I will keep this to myself. I will not give it to the audience because this might include some important URLs or maybe some explanation and elaboration of some points that I may want to refer to while I'm giving my presentation. And probably I don't want to share that information with my clients, with my audience, with my customers, whatever. So that's why we have the notes. They're just like your notes at the bottom of the slide, not writing them manually, but to include them within the presentation itself. Is this the point clear, beta, who asked me just right now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So we could even do is, we could even print out the outline view. An outline view basically is the summary of the entire presentation as far as the text is concerned. Now you'll see there is very less text. I'll tell you why. Because I did not add any text. I did not add any text. Let me just think of this as some very important text. Okay, I'm just adding text. So if I'm adding this text over here, if I go to slide and print, that's my outline view. So all the text, if I just want to print the text of the entire presentation, I could do that. Okay, I could do that. How do I do that? In the outline view. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And then we have is the option of, let's talk about more. One slide, I would like to print one slide. I would like to print 2 slides. And I would like to print 3 slides. Interesting. What is this now? If I print 4 slides, I don't get any lines. But why do I get lines in 3 slides? Because 3 slides is known as the audience notes. Now, why do we call these the audience notes? Can someone tell me? Why would I call this the audience notes? No one? Why do I call this the audience notes? Anyone? Come on, try. Who are the audience?
Sir, because we give it out as handout.
Very good, because we give this out as a handout. And when I give this out as a handout, I would probably look I have 100 people who are basically my audience, and they would like to note down something. Maybe I just did mention a very good URL, and probably I shared an email address, or probably any other point that someone wants to note it down for that particular slide. So I should have lines in front of that where my audience could note down some points. These are the notes. So when you print 3 slides, the 3 slides is also known as the audience notes. So if the examiner says that also print the audience notes, this is how you'll do that. It's a very interesting thing, isn't it? So that's how actually you prepare your slides and all that. Okay. So remember the audience notes, the summary or the outline, the notes pages or the full slides. Then obviously you have 4. There's not much difference. Just keep on adding as many as you want to. So they will tell you that. But these 1, 2, 3, 4 printouts were important that we should know about.
Sir, can you repeat 3 slides?
Yeah, I will. 3 slides basically, if we refer to 3 slides basically means the audience notes, which means I would give this to my audience, and if the audience, they want to note down something, they can note it down over here. So my all presentation, which includes, let's say, 90 slides. 90 slides means I'll take 30 printouts and I'll give it to my audience, and they can note down in any of the pages whatever they want to. Right? And remember one thing, practically whatever we are discussing, you should be able to explain it. You can get a question in the evidence document that why is there a need of the audience note? And you would obviously explain that. Okay. I did tell you before that if you come to my website, maybe I did or did not, if you come to sirsaim.com, if you come into IGCSE ICT and if you come to theory, ICT theory, you will find over his report writing notes. Okay, I did tell you that please go through all this. These are all those points that come in the practical, but come as a theoretical question, which means you need to type it in. So please go through this. Okay, they're different topics. You go through them, and you could ask me in next class if you don't get anything. But they are, all of this is very, very obvious. But do get back to me if there is a problem with this. Okay, 1 second, just 1 second, because I need to discuss. I don't have the past paper. I need to download past paper. Because I just want to discuss one important point. Can't leave that. Always extract the files and use from within the extracted folder. You can see over here, guides. Do I have sales? 1 second, let me just check. No. No. That's not the paper. Buy box, 1 second. Was the password beta? It's information 12. Of what? Of which website? Mr. Syme. It's better this QWERTYUIOP. The first line of keywords that you have on your keyboard. Yeah, good. I found it. Now, if you look at this JExpress, this was the a file given to us, and we had to import this in PowerPoint. Okay, I'll just copy the file. Okay, so if you're supposed to import a JEx file into PowerPoint, how would we do that? Now, why is this interesting point? I'll tell you why. Let me just close all this, open up PowerPoint again. Okay. Sorry, what happened? So now the important thing is that if I'm supposed to open up an RTF file into PowerPoint, how do we do that? Obviously, it's very easy. I go into File, I go into Open. Okay, I browse for the location. This is my location. I enter. Select from here all files. Remember to select all files, and the file that you're supposed to open up. It's what it will be mentioned in the question paper. The file is JExpress. Where was it? Yeah, this one. It's in rich text box format, an RTF file format. Okay, you just open this. Interesting. You would see these opening up in individual slides. But why am I discussing this point? I'll tell you why. The first thing is, if in the question paper they ask you to open up this RTF file, if they've asked you to open up the RTF file afterwards in point number 3, no, you will first open this up and then you will do. Because obviously, you cannot design this afterwards. It's not that you design the Slidemaster and then you open it. How would you do that? You get my point. If you go and if you design your Slidemaster and then you open, it will open up in a new Windows. It doesn't make sense. Now, what is the interesting thing? Now, since I've opened this, I don't know the layout. This is feature, this is background, this is, I don't know which layout are these. I told you then we have to select the layout. But this is None of the layout that I have. So then what do I do in this case? So this is in case when we import an artif file into PowerPoint, what layout do we choose? That's what the question is. I'll tell you what one. If you come to view and if you go into Slidemaster, you would see is where am I right now? At the very end, automatically. Very interesting. So this means that if I add something over here, let's say something over here, it's added here, obviously. Let me close my Slidemaster. And do you see where am I? It has added all over here. It has added all over here. Did you get this point? Please recap and tell me. This one.
Yes. Sir, can you please repeat this?
I will repeat this. And if we get disconnected, we are going to get disconnected. We are going to join again. Okay. We are going to join again. We have to. Okay. All of you. And please try to join right away so that we don't have to wait much. Okay. Let me stop and because I will be interrupted in the between. I'm going to stop and let's join again, please. Okay. Because there's less than 1 minute is left.